This is the Current Buzz, a podcast powered by Oklahoma Electric Cooperative and OEC Fiber,
dedicated to teaching you what makes us different.
Welcome to another episode of the Current Buzz. Kayla and I are here with you today to talk about basically an external version of something we've been feeling here at OEC Electrical Fiber for a while. Kayla, why don't you kick us off?
Sure. So you may have noticed in the public, we have a new version of our logo. This new version of our logo is kind of a mismatch of our existing electric and fiber logos. The intention behind that is we have been co-branding a lot of things. We've been really working together at both the fiber and electric side when it comes to the public and working with our communities. And so creating just one logo to streamline that effort really made a lot of sense for us.
Well, and I think that's a perfect way to speak to, and we've talked about this a little bit, but we want to make it very clear we are one, right? We say the electric side of the house and the fiber side of the house, but in truth, our accounting teams are together under the same roof. When you call in as someone who's a new member or a new subscriber, you're going to be greeted by one of our member service associates who's going to be able to not just answer your electric questions, get your electric account set up, but also get your fiber account set up. So really just, I think, underscoring artistically what we've been doing internally since the beginning.
Absolutely. The collaboration that we've had as we've spun up the fiber side of the house has been phenomenal. And I think if you go back and listen to our episode with Marty Hayes, our VP of operations, you'll see how proactive we've always been here at OEC and how member-oriented and service-oriented we are. So with fiber coming along, I think it made a lot of sense for all of those amazing folks to jump in and help us get things formed. So we do, as Autumn mentioned, have a lot of departments that serve both sides of the house. We do have some departments that serve more one side of the house or the other. But at the end of the day, even those departments, we all work really, really closely together.
Well, and we've told this story before, but I think it's worth repeating, is that when electric co-ops were launched across the nation under the Roosevelt administration, it was very much intended because people in the more rural, more remote areas were not being brought electricity. So they could not water their crops. They couldn't turn on electricity. They couldn't, all the things that go along with agriculture, they were not having the same access that the people who were in the more densely populated areas, solely because it was more expensive to take power to them. So co-ops across the nation came together based on the belief that reliable electricity is a right, not a privilege. And that's precisely what happened with the launch of OEC Fiber.
Absolutely. I mean, we've talked about this, like Autumn said, a lot, but OEC Fiber was founded because our members spoke up and said, hey, we do not have access to affordable or reliable internet, if we have access at all. And a lot of people didn't have any access to any sort of internet. And that was in 2017. So that was not that long ago. It feels like something you would hear from decades ago, but it really wasn't very, it was in our recent past that people did not have access. So as our members spoke up, they really leveraged our cooperative system. They reached out to their board members and they started conversation in their communities. It was a true grassroots effort. That reached all the way up to our board of trustees, who then began doing their due diligence and said, you know what, they're right. We're going to go ahead and do what we did back in the 1930s, but this time with OEC Fiber.
It's such a compelling story. And I think because I had high-speed internet before we launched fiber, I live in town. In my head, it was access to being able to screen YouTube videos or watch, Netflix, right? What we now know is that it is so much more than that. It is how we connect to schools. It is economic development. I have now the luxury of launching a business that can serve the entire world from the comfort of my home. It is connecting with families in a time when we may not physically be together. It's truly the exact same, that it's an extension of a right, not only a privilege, which is something that I feel proud to be a part of every day.
Absolutely. And that expansion and addition of fiber to to what OEC was already doing and doing so well for many decades and many generations has only strengthened our system and allowed us to offer even better electric services to our members. So it is such a mutually beneficial situation that we have here with our electric side and our fiber side. And that is the representation that we're really wanting to put out in the community and share this awesome story that we have of how both sides of the house can really work together to serve our communities and to serve our members.
Well, and you just said that the high speed, the fiber really does serve the electric system. I did not understand this. And it was on a previous podcast when we were talking to our Vice President of Operations, Marty Hayes, and he said that one of the biggest transformations he saw was the addition of fiber to our communications channels on the electric side. So all of our substations are connected. And what that has enabled us to do is very literally catch an outage before the end user, the member, might even feel it, because we can redirect the way that power is flowing in a way that we never had access to before.
Absolutely. And even if you have great access to high-speed internet and it's not OEC fiber, I think all of our members feel the benefit of OEC fiber in that way, right? They have more reliable electric services. They have faster responses to outages. So that is felt regardless of if you're a subscriber. And I just think that that's such a cool thing. And it really kind of underscores the amazing people that we have working here who are thinking of ways to serve our membership even better every day. And the collaboration that can happen when you really work with both the electric and fiber sides together.
So to summarize it, same great services, just an easier to understand logo.
Absolutely.
All right, join us next time.
You can find us at okcoop.org and oecfiber.com.
Make sure to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.